We've had a lot of people ask us about our tiny house.
Steph was like, why don't we share a little bit about the tiny house? And so I guess that's what we're going to do as of now. Just want to make it really clear with everybody. What Steph and I have done is what was right for us. You do what's right for you. And I'm not going to sugarcoat this at all, guys. It ain't easy. It ain't easy living in this little house. Basically, it's a Dirkston storage building, 16 by 40. We went down and ordered it and had them put the windows in where we wanted to and the doors. Flattened this out of place, graveled it. I put 3 anchor plates in, about 3 foot in the ground, concreted them in, made us a place where we can anchor to the building when it got delivered. And it took them about 2 months to build and deliver the storage building. We had a good idea of what we were going to do because we actually came out here with 2x4s and laid the square footage out. The 16 by 40 actually laid out where we were going to put our doors, our pocket doors, and our walls. It took us honestly about a week of messing around with that, and we came up with a pretty good floor plan. After that, after we got it set, we got right to work on the inside, framing it out. Got our walls stood up, then laid our floors. We used pocket doors. We have 2 doors in the house, and they're pocket doors. Everything that we used was accessible, cheap. Like our floor is pine floor from Home Depot. And we got a good one down straight, and then we just blocked and tackled that thing, kept that floor good and tight. We've been in here for over 4 years now, not had one problem with our pine floor.
It was the cheapest that we could afford.
It was cheap. I think it was $1 something a square foot with screws. So wiring, we did it ourselves. You watch some YouTube videos, go to your local electrician if they're cool. My grandpa was a licensed electrician, so I had been raised around it. We put a pole out. Energy dropped it 70 feet off their pole to where they would run it for free. Then we ran underground wire up into the house to our breaker box, which we put a 200 amp breaker box in, and we ran 14 gauge wire throughout the house. The house is wired like a big house. There's plug-ins everywhere. Everything to do with this tiny house is to do with necessity and the price it was going to cost us. We try to keep the cost down. So where we put the 200 amp service breaker box was the closest to the pole, so we didn't have to run as much wiring and underground wiring from the meter box. We put the panel in between the kitchen and the main bathroom. That's where most of the wiring we're going to go anyway. We have an electric hot water heater and the dryer. So that's where we positioned it. I actually made it to where you can access it, open the door, and get to the breakers from the bathroom side. On the other side is the kitchen, and that's right where our refrigerator is. I made a panel on the back where if we just wanted to, I could row the refrigerator out of the way, take the panel off the wall, and I can get to the rear of that box too. I just thought I might as well do it. It'd be easier if I need to pull wires later. Kind of a cool thing there. So then we ran wiring. It was 2 days of running wires. We have over 50 plugins in this house. We did not skimp on our plugins. We bought good plugins. We bought good 14 gauge wiring.
I think altogether we have 1,200 feet of wiring.
The plumbing. So the good thing that we had going on here is we live on 20 acres. This is where I grew up. This is my grandma and grandpa's place. My grandpa has passed on. My grandma still lives here. She's our neighbor. I still mow her yard. So the really cost-effective thing that really we got away with very cheaply is I was able to tie in to my grandma's septic tank, and it's just her, and I don't know what gallon it is. It's well for six member family. So I was able to tie into her septic, so we didn't have to pay for that. And then far as the plumbing for fresh water, it's PEX. We ran 1 inch down from one end to the other, and then we broke it down into 3/4 and then into your outlets for your toilet and your sink and your tub. PEX, super easy. Everybody can run PEX. Anybody can run PEX. It takes a cramping tool and the cutting tool, and then you need the hardware to put it together. Very simple, guys. That's the way I'd go. Yeah, the electric hot water heater, we decided to go with that. It had the features that we wanted on it. Yeah, it didn't have to be vented, and that was a really big deal on this house, guys. So with the kids being upstairs in the lofts, we didn't want to run exhaust up through there. We just didn't want to deal with it. Plus, we have no hose in our ceiling at all. There's nothing cut in. It's just the solid tin. It's tin roof. Then for our drains, we have little toppers that go on. That's little vents that let air in and don't let air out, so it doesn't stink. You'll hear a lot of people using those in the island in the middle of their kitchen. There's different tops you can get. We bought the very best you could get, and we've got one in each bathroom and in the kitchen. And then another thing I was going to tell y'all, the heating and air in this house is a PTAC unit, basically a unit from a hotel room, a little square unit that they just plug in there. I got one for $50. It's like I said, it's been going on for 4.5 years. It keeps this thing heat and cool. So we're going to talk about insulation right now in this little house. The walls are cellulose insulation. You can look that up. It's ground up newspaper and some kind of compound that they put together, and they spray it in there. We did it on all the exterior walls, plus our wall to our bedroom, split into our bedroom and living room, plus the ceiling of our bedroom. We wanted to keep the noise down. Of course, we have 5 kids, and they have 15 friends apiece, so this house is busy. For the ceiling, they came in and sprayed foam insulation. They did every bit of this within 5 to 6 hours that day. Everything, they came in, prepped everything, and did the walls, did the ceiling, boom, they were out. And if I'm not mistaken, that was the highest part. If we were going to buy one thing for the house, the insulation, I believe, was around $2,300 at the time. The layout is, which you can see, one side of the house is a galley kitchen. It's got a full-size refrigerator, full-size sink, full-size stove. On the other half of that side of the house is like a galley bathroom. It's a bathroom at one end, and then a washer and dryer going into it. Full washer and dryer. The hot water heater is 65 gallon. It has, for our bathtubs, we use stock tanks, which you can see here. In the main bathroom, it's a round stock tank. The full size toilet. The sink is a wash tub, a bucket that I've set into a chest that my great grandpa traveled with. I cut the bottom out and dropped it in there. Then you'll come into the main living room, which is in the middle with French doors at one side here. That's where we're sitting now. And over there is a little nook for our office, sliding door, pocket door. You go into our bedroom, and it's basically the full end of the house. And then we have a stock tank there for our tub and shower. We have a vanity, and we have a full-size toilet. And on both sides there's a loft upstairs, which to the floor, to the peak, they're about 3.5, 4 foot tall. That's what the kids crawl up into, and that's their rooms. It ain't easy living in this little house. I think it's 640 square foot. Livable square feet. And you know, we have 3 kids here all the time, just to basically, and I mean, they're up in their teenage years. And I don't want to make this sound like this is a walk in the park. If you're deciding to do this and you've got kids, think long and hard. It's worked pretty well for us. This is because we had to, not because we wanted to. And if you don't know, we about lost Steph 5 years ago to a brain tumor that came on really quick. We lost everything we had. We sure did. And it sucked. And this is something we had to do. It's not because we were wanting to get back to nature or because it's a fad. This isn't a fad for us. This is life. It sounds all cool, but like I said, it's because we had to. If you would like to have any information from us at all, just leave us a comment, reach out to us. We'll get back to you just as soon as we can. We may not get back to you right away. Be a little patient with us. And you got anything else to add, sweetheart?
No, thanks for watching. And like he said, if you have any questions, just holler at us. Leave it in the comments below.
Yeah,
and
right on.
We'll be sure to follow up and answer any questions that you guys have.
Yeah, you guys. Thanks for tuning in and seeing what the hell we're up to. Matter of fact, why don't y'all just stay tuned. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up in the works.
That's right.
And I got to tell you the truth, this has set us free. This little old house has really set us free. We don't have that big overhead of rent or house payment or utilities. We run pretty cheap in this house, and we're able to get out and see this wide, crazy world that we call Earth, and get to meet all these crazy mofos out here and talk and share our story. And with that being said, y'all stay ornery.